The other day, I went to brunch with two complete and total strangers, Natasha and Rihanna. And it was awesome. In today's video, I'm showing you my experience using Bumble BFF for the first time. Bumble BFF may be perfect for you if you are solo traveling and you just want to grab a meal with someone, or if you want to check out that new museum exhibit down the street but none of your friends are available, and especially if you've just relocated to a brand new city and you're trying to build a community. Side note, I'm in the process of doing this now as I just moved to New York City. I made a video all about my experience so far, so be sure to check that out. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what Bumble BFF is. I'll show you how my BFF dates went, and I'll give you my tips for successfully using the app to make great friends. So be sure to stick around until the end of the video to get all of this great information. So first off, what is Bumble BFF? For those who are unfamiliar, Bumble is a very popular dating app that is pretty similar to Tinder. You create a profile by uploading some pictures and answering some personality questions about yourself and also what you're looking for out of the app. And then you start swiping through other people's profiles. If you swipe right on someone, it means that you're interested in them. And if they've also swiped right on you, then it's considered a match and the woman has 24 hours to message the man. And then if she does, he has 24 hours to respond to her. So that's Bumble Date. And a lot of people use the app when they're looking to date. But what people don't realize is that there's actually 3 settings of Bumble. Bumble Date, Bumble Biz, which I think is professional networking. I've never used that before, but I would love to hear your experience if you have, so please leave a comment below. And the 3rd setting is, of course, Bumble BFF. And this is the mode to use if you're just looking for a platonic friendship. It functions exactly the same as Bumble Date, where you have your pictures, a few answers that you've given about yourself, and you swipe through other people's profiles and swipe right on those that you're interested in being friends with. When you're using BFF mode, I think the app only shows you other people of the same gender. So I was swiping through the profiles of women, which is exactly what I wanted. After just a few days of being on the app, I matched with a lot of great people and was finally ready to meet some of them in person. My very first BFF date was brunch with Natasha. I took the train in from Brooklyn to Manhattan, where I met up with her in the West Village at a restaurant called the Malt House.
Hi!
I was drawn to Natasha's profile because I felt like we had a lot of personality similarities, and I was really excited to meet her. I thought that we were gonna get along great. At the restaurant, I ordered the crab cake Benedict and Natasha got the chicken and waffles, and we both enjoyed some brunch cocktails. She was really nice. She was exactly as she described herself on the page, so I didn't feel, catfished at all, which I wasn't concerned about. We had great conversation, and I learned that she also runs a really cool Instagram page featuring Black art in New York City. So be sure to check out her page. We had a really great time. I couldn't have asked for a better first Bumble BFF date. And before we went our separate ways, I asked her to really quickly share a bit about her experience using the app.
Okay, so I just left brunch with Courtney. Shout out to Bumble for introducing the two of us. This is actually my 3rd time using Bumble to make a new friend. I would definitely recommend using the app to meet people in the city. Yeah.
After the brunch with Natasha went so well, I was really excited to be meeting up with Rihanna the very next day for another brunch, this time in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. My conversation with Rihanna really flowed effortlessly, and we ended up staying at the restaurant for almost 3 hours, which is kind of crazy, but definitely a great sign. Rihanna is from the UK and is just working remotely temporarily in New York City. I was really surprised to learn that this was actually her first time visiting the United States. So I definitely wanted to get her perspective on using Bumble BFF, and I asked her to share a little bit on camera also.
So Courtney and I have just met up and just had a very successful, I'm looking at her, she's nodding, experience of meeting from Bumble BFF, which is something I've never personally used back home in London, but since moving to New York for a couple of months a few weeks ago. Obviously you can go on Tinder to find guys and date and whatever, but you need girls to go out with and go to brunch with, etc, etc. This has been very successful. We're going to meet up when Courtney is back and we're 100% going out. And I don't want to be caught online for saying this, but maybe we'll meet a ball player, like, who knows. Okay, I'm going to cut this off now.
Okay, so Rihanna and I just had an amazing brunch. We ate at Ainsley, which is in Brooklyn. And would you recommend?
Absolutely. I got this delicious panini, truffle fries were banging. It was amazing.
It was really good. And it was like,
we're gonna come back for bottomless brunch.
Oh yeah, oh totally. Like the music was like on point, like it was a great experience. I feel like we got along like really well, and we're definitely gonna hang out again.
Of course.
Clearly, I had 2 very successful first Bumble BFF meetups, and I hope by now you are inspired to check out the app yourself and to start meeting people. If you do get on the app, here is some advice to help you have a successful experience. When you first switch the app to BFF mode, it might feel a little bit awkward. I know it felt awkward for me because I didn't know what I should be looking for in an online friend's profile. Everyone was really nice and a lot of people had very similar interests, like going to bars, doing yoga, or walking around the park. So I really wasn't sure how to differentiate people or know who was going to be a great friend for me. When you're first getting started, to kind of avoid this awkward phase, I would suggest looking for people who are similar to yourself. So for example, people who are the same age, maybe people who have the same relationship status, or also people who are new to the city if you are new as well. Of course, you should also be honest when creating your profile. If you really do love yoga and you're always down to check out a new bar, by all means say that, but don't try to say things that you think other people are going to like if they're not actually reflective of your interests. And while it might be tempting for you to swipe on a ton of people just to see who you match with, I would suggest being a little bit more selective so that you can limit the number of matches you get and hopefully have more meaningful conversations with just a handful of people. And lastly, don't be afraid to suggest a meetup. Everyone is on the app because they want to meet you in real life and see if you could be friends, and that's a lot easier to do in person than online. So once you feel comfortable enough, don't be afraid to suggest meeting up in a public place to grab a coffee, go for that walk, whatever it is, so that you can get outside of the app and actually get to know them in real life. So that's all I have for you in this video. I hope it was informational, and I hope that you are inspired to check out the app. If you have used Bumble BFF before, I would love to know what you thought of it. Please leave me some comments below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!